Well, it's not the fastest thing in the world, is it? Way, okay, so I think we are live. I think we're live. So if you're here, do drop a comment down below. Drop your questions down below. Obviously, I can see it, and well, I'm here to answer your questions. I'll give you an update on my Amazon business in a second, but let me just put a comment down here to say, hey, if you guys are live, do drop your comments down below, and obviously I'll do that as well. So give me 2 seconds. Should be going live in a minute. So let's just kind of put a comment on here. If you guys are here, drop your questions down below. I wasn't here last week on the Friday because I was going away for Christmas. But obviously, I hope Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope obviously it's Boxing Day today. I hope you're here, and hope everyone had a great Christmas. Obviously, I spent it in Mexico. I did a Mexican Christmas. It was lovely. I really enjoyed being with my girlfriend and my family. Should say her family, she say, and obviously messaging my family as well, sharing lots of little stories. So let's just kind of go through quickly. Oh my God, you can tell it was Christmas. Look at that. You can just see, like, look at the graph. It just kind of like stops, doesn't it? It's like good sales, good sales, good sales, nothing. Like good sales, good sales, good sales, nothing. Like what were we doing? We were going from like 9K average before. Then 9K average before. I'm going to show you that there, and then it kind of popped up to like 14 at best, and it dropped down to 3. You're like, whoa, that's like really bad. Guys, if you've got questions, drop them down below. I will answer them. Obviously, I'm here to support you guys as well in your business. So a couple of things we've seen. Obviously, sales in the UK have serious. Look, I'll turn that sideways. Look at that. You can see that just like dropped. You're like, whoa, my God. I don't know what's going on over here. Let's see what's happening on this one. Can I see anything going on over here? Hello. There we go. Are we live on Instagram? If anyone's on Instagram, drop me a question, drop me a comment, and obviously I can do that as well. So it's been good. Also, as well, if you want to know, I'm off to the Philippines next week. Well, I'm on my way to the Philippines next week. It's going to be a long, long, long journey, and I will be. One second, I just want to kind of check. Hey, there we go. We're live on Instagram. If anyone's on Instagram, I can see you. We are live. Well, hey, cool. So I'm off to the Philippines. I've just been booking all my hotels. I've done the flights. I'm literally going Mexico City, Orlando, um, Dubai. Then I've got to transfer over to Abu Dhabi and then Manila. So it's quite a long trip. It's going to take about a week to get there in like flights. I fly out on Sunday and I arrive on the Saturday. So nearly a week. It's a really, really long time. So just be mindful of that. But yeah, I'm like, wow. So that's it. Let's kind of jump on to a couple of questions. Gigs. Hey Tom, hope you had a good Xmas. I did. Really good. Obviously sales have dropped down, but I'm happy. Like Christmas was good. Like we're happy. By the way, profitability wise, let's just be really crystal clear. Oh my God, this is really not wanting to load, is it? Bang, let's click on that. Yeah, in regards to profitability wise, we made about the same money as last year, and we're about 33% down. So much more profitable per item, but what we're not, obviously we did less revenue, which is good because it just means less work. So I quite enjoy that. That's quite a good thing. Obviously less prep fees, etc., etc. So pretty happy with that. Just going to refresh that page. You can see over here, Instagram. So yeah, it's definitely been good. So yeah, and then obviously like this. By the way, and the one thing I will talk about is like this year. If you guys are here, think of like sharing me what you're going to do in Q1. It's a really, really good point. But I think like one thing someone asked me like this question, like, what are you doing in Q1? And one of the things that I really kind of made a point about was the fact that I'm really trying to focus my business. So for the whole of this year, 2022, we talked about launching Germany, doing that, but like I really believe in just making it fundamentally more efficient. So there's a couple of things we talked about is trying to improve the ROI, sourcing, and also the repricing. Number 2 is also financing for the USA. Number 3, I think there's something about just trying to make it operate more smoothly. And there is some definitions we define around that. And then I think that there is a final one. It's on here somewhere. I don't know where it is exactly, but give me 2 seconds. Yeah, and then the other one, I'll see if I can find it on my chat. 1 second, it's on my phone, so I'll see if I can get it. Yeah, what kind of activities are you doing? Someone asked, and I said, oh, and then also it's around process improvements. And we're really looking to improve cash control, cashback auditing, so improving the number of cashback we're looking to get, P&L forecasters versus actual, that's something we want to do. And then also as well, I'm off to, as I said before, I'm off to Manila in Q1. So I'm off to Manila next week. And then week 2, so in 2 weeks' time, I've got a 3-day event with my team. And that's obviously Fast Track FBA and my Amazon business. And what we're going to do in that business as well, in that meeting, is really plan out what the next 3-year plan is and then break it down into a 1 year plan, and then that's it. So my 1 year plan probably won't go calendar year; it will probably go Q2 to Q1 next year. So that's that. So it's, these things happen, but there are a bit things. Oh, I don't know I have no idea what's going on here. This computer just doesn't want to do anything over here. We'll see how it goes. But it says it's live, we're seeing, so that's it. So yeah, Gigs, let me know what your plans are for Q1. Guys, if you've got questions at Q1, let me know down below. It'd be really, really useful. Guys, if you're on Instagram, I can see it, but it seems like my software doesn't want to do anything. Easy peasy, I can see you as well. I'll answer your question next on Instagram. Let's go and join through. Hassan, hello. My Amazon account's been suspended due to having multiple accounts despite me having one. How can I reinstate my account? You've really got to speak to like an IP complaint thing. fasttrackfba.com/Jeff. He's a good guy. We've used him. We've also used him to deal with this exact problem. We were suspended in Canada for this very reason, and we got it unsuspended. Gave us a really good kind of like rundown, and they said absolutely fine, no problem. I have no idea what's going on with this. I'm going to shut this down 1 second. Let me try it again. Bang, close that window. Let me just close some of these other windows. Bang, 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 bang. If I accidentally disappear, it's because I've closed the wrong window down. Let's kind of just load that up, and then I want to go social. 1 second, I'm going to load up my YouTube. So yeah, fasttrackfba.com/Jeff is the one you are looking for. That's the guy you're going to do, and he'll help you out that. Let's go and jump over Instagram. Easy peasy says, does Amazon notify a person doing private label if someone doing OA jumps on this listing? Do they only get notified by Amazon? No, not at all. They really don't care. Amazon don't notify you at all. That's not their fault. They're like, that's your problem. You've got to deal with that. So really, Amazon won't notify you at all. That's your job. You've got to do it all. So yeah, that's it. Sorry, there is software out there that will do it, but that's not Amazon's job. That's your job to do it. There you go. I hope that kind of works. We'll see how that goes. If that doesn't, it's just going to be a black box over on Instagram over there. Sorry about that, guys. It's going to jump over, but I can see you if you are on Instagram. I can see you right here. So yeah, let's kind of jump through. My God, I'm going to get hot in a minute. I need to take off my thing. Do sales drop a lot after Q4? Well, yeah, relative to Q. So do sales drop a lot after Q4? Yes, they do relative to Q4, but Q4 is the busiest time of year. That's like super, super busy time. But the one thing to say for you is just like, be mindful in the fact that, should we say, Christmas is the busiest time of year, but they drop like, February and March aren't great, but the one thing which I say is January is our third best month, and like, we actually had like the third. By the way, you can see this. Can you see this graph here? This one. This is my UK graph, and the one thing which you can see is like at the very far end is November, then you can see December last year, then you can see January, and actually February and March are pretty much the same. I won't say there was a possible, but they did work. So I hope that kind of makes sense. Where we got Omar K and Hi for Since I can see you on Instagram. For some reason my software doesn't want to work. Don't know why. We'll see what's happening. So yeah, sales do drop a lot. Let's go through. Hey Tom, would you mind sharing your starting capital for the USA? Yeah, I won't lie. I think I only put like 5K in initially, but my God, I kept pumping money in. Like there were some months I was putting in 20K a month. Why? My Amazon business does good money. Like it does, it does like $250,000 in a month, and we operate about 5% on it. So I could just take that money and throw it into the UK, in the USA. So you have to throw a lot of cash at it, and obviously credit. And like the one thing you see about these people who kind of do Amazon, and I won't lie to myself, is the fact that we have like lots of credit cards, and these are all like Amex cards. I'm just doing airline points bookings, so hence why I got them out. But the real important thing is the fact that we, the idea is that we have money that we start with and we put it in, which is fantastic. And then if it's working, we'll keep putting more and more in. Basically, I'll keep throwing money at it until my staff can't spend any more. And then I'd have one or two options: one, hire more staff to spend more money, or two, just keep churning as much as I can. And that's what we did. We just keep doing it. So yeah, it's going to come through. Massive action. We've made more money this year. Officially a scale up company, as I don't need to slow company down. Just got what we need today. I've transferred a further 12K profit into passive. Good man. Hey Sean, you're a man on fire. Obviously you're doing a lot of stuff. So honestly, really, really well done to you. And I love the fact that, obviously you're kind of looking at different assets. I said earlier I was looking to go into property, and someone mentioned why you're not staying in Amazon. Just for the fact that, I want to diversify the asset classes. That's something really, really important to me. So we shall see how that goes. 1 second. I want to see. I'm going to stop this live and go again. If you're on, oh my God, if you guys are on Instagram, you can watch me. I can't see your comments on there. I can see you down below. I can see you on my phone. I've got you here. So sorry if I'm really bad. But yeah, so yeah, I'm looking to. So right now, you're saying, are you putting everything back into Amazon? Everything in Amazon is going back into Amazon, but I'm not investing more in top of Amazon. But really, like the bulk of my time is spent on fast track FBA, like doing that. And like, my God, next month in the Philippines for an entire month, that's going to be like a long, long journey. After that, I'm off to Miami. And then after that, we'll probably go like April, we'll probably go to Denver. So I've got a lot going on. Um, Now, I think that's a really important point. So like, I am putting in, but also as well, I will be dripping money back out again over the course of this year. We're just refining the, we're refining the process, should we say. So yeah, I hope that kind of makes sense. Just kind of come on for OFP FBA. I can see it down here. Sorry, my Instagram over here is not working. No idea why. Bloody technology, eh? Hey Tom, I'm in the process of adding 2 sourcing VAs to the team from your agency. I'm excited for the growth of my team. Fantastic, you'll love it. By the way, I'm going through some updates to our what's known as MBA workbook. It's like Virtual Assistant Owners Operators Guide. Really good. They're just making those tweaks. You'll get it when. Bless you. You'll get it when they go live. It'll probably be in like a week or two's time, but that will really help you out as well. But also just join the calls with my HR manager, Jade. That will really help you out. There's lots in the MBA workbook. You can watch like how to scale guides. That's going to be really important. But 2023 is going to be an amazing year for you. OFP FBA down here, really supporting you with growing that VA. And obviously I'll be helping you as well, like kind of making sure that you know where you're going, what you're doing. We'll be sharing lots of actions and support with that. For some reason, I'm just playing with my Amex cards. Look, lots of like Amex cards. It's like when you go to the bank, you get a thing. Which one do you want? You got loads. It's like the digital version of a Ferrari. I need the black one. Get the black one. But hey, OFP FBA. Glad you love it. Fitness products for Q1. What else? Got a ton of profit to invest. I get your point. I wouldn't go seasonal. I'd actually go the other way around. I would go to the point whereby the fly low flippers I can see on Instagram, hey, down there. If by the way, for Odds Octopus, I would probably not be looking at just like fitness products. I'd actually be looking at more things that should last more seasonal, not less seasonal. You could obviously look at like how Valentine's Day, but I wouldn't. I would probably like. There's 2 options. Number one, you buy like things that you're going to sell all year round, kind of like things, consumables, replenishable items which work. Or you could try and find great Q1 deals which you can hold until summer. Inflatable products, like sports and outdoors, all those kind of things. They're going to be dirt cheap during January. But and if you look at your keeper chart, they're like, 60, 70, 80% off could be a good buy if you're willing to hold and you've got the storage. I know a lot of people who do that really, really well. So yeah, Odds Octopus, let me know down below if there's anything you're focusing on. I am Bing 77. I hope that's not Bing search engine. Just want to say hi on Instagram. I can see you. Drop your questions down below on Instagram. Sorry, my Instagram thing's not working over here. Going to jump through gigs. I don't like buying seasonal items, so I'll probably buy the same items, but maybe with a little less quantity for once. Yeah, absolutely fine. Look, worst case scenario, if you're buying something in Q1 and it doesn't sell, but it's an item sells all year round, no problem. You just wait until Q2. It sells eventually. Like that's the good thing about not going seasonal. They're always going to sell. What is going on with this bit of software? Dear life. Right, let's go through Odds Octopus. My first year doing Amazon, never experienced Q1. Our toys selling well as always. Toys sell well in just January because people still buy them, but like people still buy toys in March and April, but they're not going to buy like as many, if that makes sense. Like December's the busy time, so that's the important point. Let's jump on to the fly low flippers on Instagram. I can see you down here. Have you ever ran to deactivation account due to multiple accounts? If so, how long was it usually take to resolve? Yeah, I just literally talked about this. We got deactivated in Canada on my USA account. So USA was fine, but Canada with marketplace was disabled because we had multiple accounts. So it's done on per marketplace, not per like region. I won't lie, it probably took us about, like, we didn't really do anything for 4 months. And then literally we spoke to FastTrack FBA, www.fasttrackfba.com/Jeff. He gave us a plan of action, plan of appeal, did all that. We had to do a bit of background stuff like Prep Center, the kind of place, for example. That was really, really important. And then once we'd done that, we then submitted it. I think it was within 2 hours they gave us the account back. The marketplace. It was really, really quick. So, like, yeah, don't worry. Like, also just get advice to get it done because that POA was really, really important. So, yeah. Hope that makes sense. The Philo flippers on Instagram, I can see it. Let's jump over to Facebook over here. Hi, Tom. Purchased USS a couple of days ago and looking forward to use it going into 2023. Cool. The USS, if anyone knows, Ultimate Sourcing Sheet. It's a great sheet. We're doing a lot of work on it development wise. You're really, honestly, I think you're going to love this. So long story short, it just makes your processes so much easier. It speeds up your work. Look, you can go hire VAs absolutely fine, but if we can make you faster, that's going to really, really help you out. So the USS just gives you great systems and structures to support your business, and also as well, it gives you insights into your purchasing, which really help you kind of do the 80-20 principle. So like 80% of your profit comes from 20% of your purchases, 80% of your purchases come from 20% of your what do you call it, suppliers. So something really think about, and the USS really helps that. Not only that, it has an API integration into our own servers, which can link into Amazon, and you can also build out custom Google Sheets. Like people love just building their own Google Sheets. That's fine. We can do add-ons for like, check out the add-ons for like your prep center. We do like repricing and stuff. So Pat and the team, they're always there to help you. Top tip for you: if you ever struggle, speak to Pat. Speak to Pat and Kim. They are here to help you. They will jump on a one-to-one call with you to really support you. So hope that kind of makes sense, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. So hey, well done. If anyone's interested, fasttrackfba.com, go to services and the ultimate sourcing sheet. You can see a bit more. Let's kind of jump through. Massive action. Yeah, Q1 is actually good for us too. One second. Modder fella on Instagram. Hey, I can see you. Drop me a question down below. If you guys are on Instagram, I can see you. Drop it down below. I am watching. Massive action. Yeah, Q1 is actually good for us too. Q2 slows down and Q3 is slower. In my end, I noticed. So before summer may transfer out more money to passive sales. Yeah, sure. Obviously, you know what you're doing. You've been selling long enough. Yeah, how you manage your assets, mate, is completely up to you. But some people have massive. I know some people who only sell in Q4 and then stop selling for the rest of the year. They make so much money. That's all they're doing. They can't be bothered. I can understand. Or you can build a team and let them do it throughout the entire year while you just enjoy the benefits of it. Hence, hashtag hire a VA. Fast Track FBA VA Academy can really help you out with that. By the way, that's what I do. These two companies here, 2 hours a week. Both of them, 2 hours a week. Not very challenging. Let's kind of go through. Hi, Tom. SJ, as a non-VAT registered seller, is it imperative that I provide an invoice receipt if the customer requests it? Because it's not only to request an invoice, it's 2 or 3 days after the sale. By the way, if they request it, my advice, obviously, I don't quote me. I think Amazon has like a button where you request it and you have to upload a file. But I think someone said to me the other day in a live that you can click a button and Amazon does it for you, even if you're non-VAT registered. If someone requests an invoice, you've got to provide it. That's of course. But you can just go back to them 9 times out of 10. Like if they're after the VAT side, you can just say, hey, we're not VAT registered. They'll be like, okay, don't worry about it. If it's a message, you might just go, we're not VAT registered. Do you still want an invoice? And they'll probably say, no, don't worry about it. But if you have to upload a document, then yeah, you've got to upload the document because Amazon will be watching that. So hope that kind of makes sense. SJ, let me know down below if there's any problems with that or if that kind of doesn't make sense. Let me know down below. Let's call advice. So Adam, hey Adam, happy Christmas to you, Tom. Happy Christmas to you, Adam, too. Happy Christmas to everyone. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it's Boxing Day for me. I was even working yesterday. Christmas Day, is that bad? I had to do some finances. It's fine. Just move money around. Let the team work. Here is to winning 2023. Completely agree. My God, the early bird catches the worm. Get going. By the way, if you guys are like thinking about like, okay, maybe I don't want to start selling on Amazon again. Like, yeah, I want to wait. One of the top tips I'll create a video about this, but I'm just going to say it now because I think it's a really good point. Is this week is between Christmas and New Year's. It's a great time to kind of reflect, think about where you want to go. Now, the one thing which I'll say is, yes, your Amazon business is so important. Obviously, keep growing that, no one thing. But obviously, business isn't just business. You've got to think about your life as all. Now, what can I really recommend for you if you are thinking about, like, maybe making some plans for should we say for the next year, New Year's resolution style? I will really recommend this because I think it's a really good guide. I do it myself as well. Go to Tony Robbins or just type in Tony Robbins Wheel of Life. It's a wheel basically, and it's got like 8 chapters. And all you're going to do is just take each of those sections. It's kind of like health, wealth, business, relationships, kind of 8 areas. And for each area, just write 1 or 2 things down that you would feel really proud of or really happy of if you've achieved by the end of 2023. So you're just kind of looking at like, 8 to 16 things for the year. And then all you do is you go, that's where I'd like to be in 2023, and then break it and then basically just build a plan to achieve it from where you are now. Like, That's it. It could be little things like for me, I think I've talked about it before. Like I talked about it actually in one of my seller academies. It's like for me, one of the things that I wanted to do is I always wanted to make sure I have a certain amount of cash in the bank. That was security, and that's like 3 months worth of bills. So I have 3 months worth of cash just sat in the bank. Well, it's like security. I'm really happy with that. It makes me feel happy. I can sleep at night. And the other one is being paid enough. So I get paid like £3,000, $4,000 a month. So I'm pretty happy with that. That's all I need. Mexico is pretty cheap and it's a great quality of life. And then kind of like traveling. So for me, that was like, what's traveling? Well, Marriott, hit platinum status. So I've done that as well. So I'm really happy with it. So for you, if you're thinking about it, do take this time for this week. Just think about what you want to achieve for the next year. Trust me, you cannot score without a goal, and I really recommend that. So yeah, Adam, hope that helps. Let's kind of jump through. Kusamina3 has joined on Instagram. Hey, Kusamina3, I can see her. Unfortunately, technology is not working. Can't see your chat over here. Let's kind of jump through. Do you think UK Amazoners should turn Germany on, or is it still has hassle and issues? Do you know, Tom? What's your opinion on all this? I still want to sell in Germany, but I probably don't think I'm going to do it for another year. Like I said, I was going to do it this year. I don't think I'm going to do it next year. I think this year we're just going to do literally nothing, like nothing. All I'm going to do is try and sharpen the axe. And what do I mean by that? I mean, like, I could go jump onto Germany, but I still think there's so much more opportunity to make in the marketplaces I'm in. Maybe if I can grow the margin by 5%, ROI by 5%, wow, that's going to be incredible amounts of money on like 7 figures. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on. I think Germany would be a good option if someone's looking to expand, but I would really say like make sure you have a shit hot operation right now. If you have a shit hot operation right now, you are gonna like, okay, fine. What do I mean by that? It's very profitable, it's working really well, and you can do it in less than 5 hours a week. If you can do that, if that's your operation, fine, go to Germany. But if you're not doing it in less than 5 hours a week, you need to get that business running in 5 hours a week. Why? Because when you move into Germany, you can then go and spend 35 hours a week focusing on Germany and only 5 on your existing business. If you're doing it the other way, like 20 hours, 30 hours a week, then you only have 10 hours a week to build a new business, which is like just not going to happen. So I'd really say no, like only if you've got time. So Sean, I think it'd be a great opportunity. Make sure you've got time. Let's go and jump through John's. By the way, if anyone else is thinking about selling on Germany, let me know your thoughts down below. Like, are you thinking about it? Are you not? Or what's your plans for Q1 or plans for next year? Really, really thank you. Really, really thoughtful about that. Let's kind of go through John Sinclair. I'm currently using a couple of lead servers. When would you advise be the best time to hire a VA to scale up? Great question, John. So let's just kind of be clear. So I'll give you the kind of metrics. Number one, you're profitable. That's a really important point. If you're not profitable, then you still got to figure out how to do the business on your own, like before you hire someone else. Number two, you probably want to make sure that you've got about £5,000 or $5,000 free, so at the end of every week, you're finishing up and you're like, what's going on? So really you just want to put like £5,000, $5,000. Maybe you've always got that in your credit card. You're like, damn, if I had more deals, I could buy it. And I'm guessing with you, lead services, you're saying that as well. And then also as well, like, or maybe it's like you've got it in cash, or maybe it's on a credit card. Like if you had more deals, you'd be fine. So profitable, $5,000, £5,000, for example. What else? Obviously, you want to take the business long term. Like, hiring someone isn't something like, oh, I'll see how it goes. Like, no, it's a serious consideration. And then I think the final one I'd really recommend for you is you've got a 1 hour a day free. Doesn't matter when, just 1 hour a day free every day, Monday to Friday, that you can spend with the VA developing them. If you can meet that criteria, I think you're in a really good place to hire a VA and start building your business. Now, what's the advantage of a VA over a lead service? Well, lead service is great, and obviously I do offer a lead service. But with a lead service, you get given the deals that you get. That's it. Doesn't mean you can buy them. Doesn't mean that you want them, but you are given them. Whereas with a VA, you can say, hey, I want deals from this supplier because I like them, or I want deals from this brand, or I only want deals which I can sell, i.e. ungated. A VA will do that for you. One of the top tips I can really, really recommend for a VA, and some people don't like this, I really think it is good. So get your list of all your old ASINs, all your products, find new suppliers, find new products. Like you can't do that with the lead service. All these products are basically replenishables. You can go and find other suppliers. Maybe you can find them again. Keep doing it. Like we do it all the time. That's one of the real advantages of VA. The other one is you can focus the time, focus suppliers, products, really like it. So I think if you're in that place, definitely. And if you want to know for us, VAs cost on, for a full time from us, Fast Track FBA VA Academy, they cost about £400 per month that you have to pay, to the VA, they work for you, or $500 if in the US, and that's for 40 hours a week. And then the final one is our fee we charge is about £850 or about $1,000. And with that, by the way, we'll find, hire, and train and support a VA in your business. We do all the training. Basically, you're getting a VA who's been trained, and what they're doing is we teach you how to manage that VA. We teach you how to build your business. We teach you what to track. We teach you what you need to know. This is fasttrackfba.com/VA. /VA, very simple. We can just go to the website and see VA. And then the final one is we teach you everything, my SOPs, what we do. And then the final one, because oh my God, I failed on this so many times, is the fact that two things. Number one, we develop you as a leader. So you get a weekly support call with my team, whereby they're going to teach you all the stuff that you need to know. And then the other final one is if you get any problems, let's say, for example, you're not happy with the VA, there's some training issues, then you can literally message my team. They will jump in with your VA, do retraining, one-to-one retraining. Let's say, for example, the VA quits. At any point in the first 3 months, you'll get a free replacement. Don't worry about it. If maybe you're not happy with the VA, you can say, I want a replacement. Cool, we'll change it, no problem. Or if you're still not happy after 3 months, because we believe in our services on 550 of them, and we've done it with over 300 clients, you can get your money back, no questions asked at any point in the first 3 months. So it's pretty much a no-brainer. We take away all the risk for you, really, really simple. So I hope that makes sense. So fasttrackfba.com/VA if you are interested. Leads are great, but I put it this way, I don't know a single 7 or 8 figure Amazon seller who uses lead services, but they all use VAs. So I'm not saying that you can't do it, but if you want to scale your business, just copy what other people do. So John Sinclair, I hope that answers your question down below. You can also book a call with us if you go fasttrackfba.com/VA. That helps out. Blockchain Society. Hey, Blockchain. Do you have any general tips for sourcing items in places other than online retailers? What, like wholesale? You can do wholesale. You can do retail, which is in-store. Distribution, manufacturer, you can do that. If you can do like wholesale, like you can do it. There's lots of people who promote wholesale. That's an option. I'd probably follow their channels, like Watch Me Amazon, Amazon Lit, talk a lot about that. Who else? And then that's it really. And then obviously if you want to go in store, I'm sure you know where your local stores are. But is a Blockchain Society, let me know if there's anything down below that maybe I'm like not understanding, but I think that kind of makes sense. Like it's really wholesale, distribution, or manufacturer. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. Guys, if you've got questions on Instagram, drop them down below. Unfortunately, my technology is not working today. No idea why. What's going on? Maybe it's my fault. Well done, Tom. Let me just put a comment in. Hey, guys. Add comment. Can I add that comment? Let's see how it goes. Oh, it's going white. It's going white. No idea what's happening. We'll see what happens. Dorna Sharif has joined as well. Hey, I can see it down here. Can you see my comment? No, I can't see my comment at all. No clue. Right, let's kind of jump through. Are you able to transfer money from your limited to your LLC, or do you have to withdraw it to yourself first? So, great question. By the way, I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't advise you exactly, but I will explain what my understanding of it is. Passive Marlowe. Hey, Passive Marlowe. Drop your questions down below on Instagram. So, look, my understanding about this question is, if any money comes to you and is not a loan, then there are potential tax liabilities to it. So if you were to transfer money, which is, let's just assume they're profits to you, then obviously you have a tax implication in that. In the UK, that would probably be like, the dividend tax, for example, is that, or pay salary. Now you can then loan that money to the LLC, or as you say, do that. That's absolutely fine. Now there is tax implications from yourself. Now, the other way, obviously, is doing it direct from your limited company to your LLC. But again, that's a company, that's a loan, unless they have a parent company whereby the profits go up and they get shifted back down. So that does happen as well. Long story short, how do I do it in my companies? What do I generally do? I will generally, at the end of the tax year, I'll always max out my tax, up to like 40K a year. And I will pay myself as much from all the companies as I can. Why? Because what I'm looking to do is get the money in. Even if I don't really need it, I will pay myself that 40K from my one company, and then maybe I'll loan it straight back. It's fine. And I've been doing that for years. Why? Because when I want to pull money out from a company, all I've done is that previously I've loaned it to their company. So all I'm now doing is taking the loan back. That's what I do. and then I loan it back off to the next company. So you can do it, but there might be tax implications if you do it to yourself first. And you can loan them between companies. There's no tax implications, but obviously it does sit on the asset sheet. The one thing which I will say is if you have a UK limited company and you loan that money to another company and it's an outstanding loan at the point of your financial tax returns, then that other company, i.e. your LLC, will show up on that limited company's bank statement. Just be mindful of that. That's a really important point. Yeah, hope that makes sense. So if you want to hide the LLC, because in the US we don't have what's known as company's house, that company's house will show up on your UK LTD because it's an intercompany loan. Hope that makes sense. Let's kind of go through Adam. Hey, Tom. So thank you for the Tony Robbins Wheel of Info. Sounds perfect, very timely. Cool. Honestly, I really like it as well. I'm a big Tony Robbins fan, but I did find that really, really useful. So I hope that makes sense. But Adam, glad that is helpful. Guys, if you've got questions, drop them down below. We've got a couple of people on Instagram. Kosamina 3, Passive. I can see you guys down there. Passive, Marlowe. Let me guys know what you got questions down below. Anything I can answer. Sorry, my kind of like Instagram chat over here is not working, so it kind of shows up like here. So it's going to go through Facebook now. I've been thinking about goals like you advise, and I'd like to set myself a goal of 300k a month revenue within 3 years from now. How would you go about breaking down further month to month? Great question. If you really want to know, I have an exact. By the way, it's 250 per month we talk about. Like process to do this within the Fast Track FBA Seller Academy. So if you want to know, Fast Track FBA Seller Academy is like my private group of where I teach everyone exactly what we do to break these goals down and how we do it all. And really we talk about like we show you exactly step by step like how many staff you need to hire, what the targets for each staff are, how you do all these payrolls, what the expectations, what the ROIs are. We even have systems whereby you can actually plug in your current ROI, where you want to be and your goal target, and you can work out all the steps between it. So I'll try and give you a bit of a high level overview, but if you really want to take this to the next level, then my advice would be look at the Seller Academy. We will reopen next year. It's not yet, but we teach this exactly. And by the way, I'm teaching not just about get the revenue goal, but also about building a business whereby it's sustainable without you. That's the important thing. Gavik7, hey, I can see you down here. So let's kind of answer your question. Look, so at a fundamental level, if you're doing 300k per month, you've got to break that down into what's the spend. Call it 150k spend per month. So 150k spend per month, and then what is that divided by the number of staff that you're going to need. So I don't know, 150k. So how much are you going to get per staff member? Let's say, for example, I can get 20k per staff member per month. So 150 divided by 20k, that gives into what, 7.5 roughly? 7.5. I need 7.5 sources. I'd probably want 8 to be a bit up. I'd probably also want at least 2 purchasing managers for that, and I probably want 1 or 2 admin VAs as well. That gives you a bit of a structure. And then you can kind of break that down, work your way back. Your other couple of questions you're going to have around it are going to be like prep centers, available cash. What else are you going to have? How you strategically build that, so you know where the goal is, but how do you get there to that point in the most efficient manner. Again, we teach that in the Seller Academy, and we have the systems that show you actually how to do that. And then the real question is, it's a step-by-step process. And the one thing I'll say, by the way, I'm not sure who's asking this because I can't see the name, obviously. I had a conversation with someone the other day, actually, who their job is they basically have to spend 1 month away where they can only work 1 or 2 hours a day, and they're in a different part of the country, world. So they spend like 1 month away, then they come back for 1 month, then they go away for a month, and they come back. And we literally devised a plan step by step for this guy, how he would be able to build a business from nothing over the next 5 months. That in 5 months' time, he could go away and run it in 5 hours a week. That's it. But we kind of did it in a very strategic way, whereby he would still be able to build it when he was working, on that month away, and when he came back, he could then focus on it for the whole month. And it really made a difference. And he was like, "Wow, it's incredible!" He's like, "I know how to sell on Amazon, but I didn't know how to put the if we say, what's it called, the sequencing in place to build the team up that's going to allow me to do it." So definitely, I think if you want to try and achieve this 300 goal, you can do it. 150k spend. You're going to look at like 8 sources, 2 purchasing managers. That'd be a rough guide. But again, if you're going to go that big, I'd probably just join it in the Seller Academy, and we're would just teach you how to do that and really sequence it. And obviously you get weekly access to me as well to do that in live in person. I'll really support you in that. So hope that makes sense. Facebook user down below. Let me know down below. Ivan, I can't remember. Ivan Penagurov, I can't think. He says, hi guys, I can see you down here. Sorry, my Instagram thing's not working up here, but I can see you. And Rafa115 has joined as well down here. Guys, if you've got questions, drop it down below on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube. I don't know. Drop your questions down below. I will answer them. I'm here this week at this time. Next week, I'm going to have to change why. I'm off to the Philippines. I'm flying Orlando, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Manila. I'll be in the Philippines for around 3 weeks before I fly back again. So my clock's going to be a mess. Let's go and jump through. Josh, I'm glad I'm not the only one who's had a slow day today. Yeah, by the way, if anyone wants to see my sales graph, Josh is like, I'm glad I'm not the only one who had a slow day today. Oh my God, do you want to see a slow day? I'll show you a slow day. Whoa, look at that. You can see like it's just died. We're doing really, really, really well and dead. By the way, that's like, I'll try and do it there. You can probably see it's like 15K. I don't know, 15K at the top. So 15K at the top, about 10K normal. And that's like what? 3K. But admittedly, like, how many people are going to shop? Do you know, like, how many people are going to be shopping on the 25th? Well, I did still manage to do about just over 3K. But the interesting, a lot of people do their tax returns at that time as well. So I hope that kind of makes sense. Guys, if you've got questions, do let me know down below. I can see it here on Instagram. Let's kind of jump through. Josh, let me know how your slow day. How's it been relative to everything else? What's your percentage drop? Mamet Yazid. Hi Tom, how much would you order from OA on average in the American market? Have you tried OA in Germany? So I just talked about this with Sean. I'm thinking like I would like to do Germany, I really would, but I think I can do so much more money in the other marketplaces. And again, it takes money, capital, and time. And that's one of the things that I'm like, we've got capital, I don't have too much time, and I really want to make sure my systems are really good before I move over. So how much money should you order? Like, I'm going to put it another way. How much money should we start? I think that's a really good point. So I think if you're going to move into another marketplace, you should probably, like, if you're going to go into the other one, I'm going to give you a metric. I would say minimum $10,000 or pounds. But I think the other one, I'm going to say, like, I think you should be trying to make at least £5,000 pure profit every month from your business before you start another marketplace. Why? Ideally 10,000. 5-figure profit months put you in a really powerful position. Why? Because if you're making like 2,000 a month, let's say from the UK, or so let's call it 5,000. Let's say, for example, you're making 5,000. You've got to pay yourself some money. In the US, you're probably going to pay yourself $4,000 a month. And then like, wow, I've only got $1,000 spare. Like that isn't that much. So I think my advice to you would be like, get $10,000 a month, £10,000. Take 3,000 to 4,000 a month yourself. Keep 3,000 to 4,000 a month in the business to help it grow already, and then you can take another 3,000 to 4,000 a month and put that in OA Germany. That's going to help that grow as well. And by the way, that business has got to be running in less than 5 hours a week. Why? Because to build a business takes time. If you don't have time, you can't build a business. So how much should you order? 5,000 a week or 5,000 a month in spend, 1,250. Hope that makes sense. Yeah, but I will try OA in Germany one day. Ivan Penagraph, I love your YouTube content. Just want to say I love your feedback. Thank you so much, guys. If you're enjoying this, hit the like button. If you're on Instagram, send me some likes. I can see you right here. And thank you for the feedback on I love your content. Thank you so much. Let's kind of jump through. Mama, is wholesale easier or more profitable in Europe than USA? I couldn't comment. I really couldn't comment. If you're going to ask me, I think because of the sheer nature of the number of wholesalers doing it in the US, I think it'd probably be easier there. Doesn't mean it is. I'm just guessing. I'm only guessing. I don't know the answer. So that'd be my thoughts. Dominic Webb. Hey, Dominic Webb. If I start FBA in January and become a limited company, do I have to pay taxes in April, or that can be pushed to April 2024? Okay, so you're kind of slightly misunderstanding. I get your question. Really good question, by the way. If you start selling in January and you are a limited company from day one, and I'm not saying it's the best option, but if you're a limited company from day one, let's be clear, this is a limited company. This isn't you. This is a company. You are Dominic Webb. Dominic Webb is a person, and a person has what's known as HMRCs. tax that they have to go to, which is from the 5th of April to the 6th of April, I think it is, the 6th to the 5th, for example. That's the tax year. And that's when you need to file, or should we say, that's the tax year, not even saying when you have to file and pay it, but that's the tax year. 6th of April to the 5th of April. Your company, on the other hand, is different. Your company has a tax year based on its date of registration. So if you, let's say, for example, you incorporate on the 15th of January, well, your tax year would run from the 31st of January or right through to the 1st of, it would be the 1st of Feb through to the 31st of Jan. That's the way it works. Companies have tax years reported based on their incorporation date, whereas people have tax years based on HMRC's 6th of January to the 5th of January. That's the way it works. So, but by the way, if you do start FBA, like unless you have a good high paying job, generally it's a good idea just to do it yourself under your thing. Again, speak to a tax accountant, e-commerce accountants, they're quite helpful. fasttrackfba.com/tools are helpful as well. And the reason why I talk about this is the fact that if you're doing it on your personal level first, you can just get practicing, and if you don't like it, you can shut it down. It's easy because you just pay your tax, personal tax. But if you start a company, there's a lot more that you've got to do. Closing a company down is a bit more work. So you can do it on your personal one. Also, as well, what you can do is you can build up your you can make your sales close to the VAT threshold under a personal, and then what you do is when you hit 85,000 a year under personal, you then create a limited company here, and there's a unique thing that you can do in the UK whereby you can transfer your Seller Central account from you personally over to your company, and you're not resetting your VAT threshold, you're just moving the account to a different entity. But because this entity hasn't traded, you get to start again with your VAT. So like this starts again from zero, so you don't have to do it. So basically you kind of like get to twice do it. By the way, when you're not paying VAT, it's called easy mode because you don't have to pay 20% tax, or it's about 8% after everything. So that's my kind of advice. I'd speak to an accountant. I'd say my advice. That's what I would do in that situation. Speak to an accountant. I'm not a financial advisor. But again, limited companies have tax years based on their incorporation date. People have tax years based from 6th of April through to the 5th of April. That's fixed. And this is all in the UK, by the way. So companies have different, let's say, tax years. And you can change them as well, which is really good. People, you can't change, unfortunately. Guys, if you're on Instagram, drop your questions down below. I've got about another 15 minutes. So we've got Satu Samet just joined as well down there. Guys, if you've got questions, drop them down below. And if you're on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, Twitch, I really don't know, drop your comments down below. I will comment on them as well. I have a very good track record of answering every single comment that's ever get asked. I think I've not failed yet. This has been pretty good. Let's go to Josh. It's gone from 40 to 80 units on the lead up to the 23rd, and then since the 24th morning, I've sold about 9 things. Yeah, it does. It's like, oh my God, the Christmas rush is over. No, until next year. No, I get it. Look, one thing I'll say is like, yeah, it's really annoying. But I do think at the fundamental level is the fact that we're grateful for Q4. So it is, Josh, top tip for you. One thing I'd also say now is just like, get out your house, get out wherever, go grab a coffee in the local Starbucks or whatever, a pen and paper, and just sit down and reflect. How has Q4 been? What's gone well? What's not? What would you do differently next year? This is going to be gold. This is going to be literally gold for next year. Like, this is what I need to do. Like, probably a couple of things are going to be go bigger, get more money, more deals. It's a great opportunity. Like, sales go through the roof. That's the one thing that we're always going to look at. Like, go bigger, go bigger, bigger. My God, my team was spending £85,000 in a week. That's incredible, absolutely incredible. So definitely do it. So reflect. Like, take this time to reflect because you're going to get so caught up in Q1 and everything else. Just take a time out now. Take a couple of hours. Go sit at a coffee shop. Do it. Can't stress it enough. I'll probably do it after this. I'm a bit peckish. Hassan, can I send stock into Amazon's warehouses whilst my account's suspended, or shall I wait for my account to be reinstated? I don't know the answer because I've never had my account suspended. I've had it nearly suspended, but not suspended. I think my advice is I probably wouldn't be recommending sending anything into Amazon until it's unsuspended. Why? Because if you can't get it unsuspended, then you're going to have a problem with your stock. So I think that's a really important point. I'd probably get it unsuspended first, then go from there. Massive action. What about turning Germany on, but Amazon sends your stock over from the UK that way? What, EFN? If you're doing EFN, I still wouldn't. I still don't. Like, again, like I still think it's just more hassle. Like, because then you get returns, you get questions. It's like, oh my God. If they're doing global selling, fine. not a problem with that. That means Amazon's my customer, not the other person. And if you're doing pan EU, no, not at all, not yet, not ready. I wouldn't do that yet. By the way, I do like short, like short. I get your point. Like I do. Like you're a big seller. I think anyone's watching this is like, we'll probably like try and take that to 4 million plus 5 million before we go like, right, let's think about bigger. But I think we can go bigger, bigger, bigger. It's a really important point, but like I still think you can go bigger. Like there's still so much opportunity in the UK. It's horrendously large. I wouldn't even do that. I'm just going to create another Amazon selling account in Germany before I turn it on. That's the thing. Hope that kind of makes sense, Sean. But I know what you're saying. If you're doing like, by the way, if you're doing like if you're doing wholesale, I think it kind of works. It's only if you're doing wholesale. If you're doing AI, I don't think so. I really don't, because your products are probably going to serve the UK anyway. And by the way, like when you got to ship them over to the thing, it just costs more. And by the way, you get the returns. The returns cost more, and you've got to get it back. It's a nightmare. So no, not for me. Oh my god, I'm getting tired. It's because it's hot, warm, and I'm running out of coffee, and I need some food. I'm getting hungry. Odds Octopus said, as a sole trader, do you have to file your tax returns in the first year of trading? Okay, so if you're okay, I'm not a financial accountant, but I'll give you my understanding of it. If I'm a sole trader, the way it works is the financial year for a person, i.e. a sole trader as a person, runs from the 6th of April to the 5th of April. Now, the moment you finish that period, that's that year finished. So let's just say, for example, right now, the year running from the 6th of April 2021 to the 5th of April 2022, you have until, I believe, it's the 31st of January 2023, so about 11 months, no, about 10 months later, so 10 months after the end of the financial period, you have to file and pay your taxes. So you don't have to pay straight away. You have up to about 10 months, but you've got to file and pay. By the way, self-assessment tax return isn't particularly challenging. Like you can probably research and do it, but if you're not like, I think you can figure it out in about a few days, get your head around it. But like I did mine, I've done it before. I know how to write it myself, and like I have like rental properties and things, and obviously businesses. But like I have accountants now who do it for me. I'm not doing it myself. But I do think like you can figure it out. But again, speak to accountants. They're not very hard to file. But again, I think it's about 10 months. So the financial year gone for 2021-2022, which ended on the 5th of April 2022, you'd have until the 31st of January 2023 to pay those taxes. Octopus, I hope that makes sense. Or like get an account set up, etc. Pay for. Yeah, by the way, you can get the accountant set up first year, get it right, it's fine. By the way, when you say set up, you still have to create the like online side of it. You have to do all that, and then eventually they'll just kind of go through it all and they'll get you to sign off. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, you can do it that way if you want. It's going to go through. Haminda has joined. Hey, on Instagram, guys, drop your questions down below. And Carl Donna has joined as well. Hey, I can see you down there. Guys, you've got questions, drop them down below. I've got about another 10 minutes before I drop off. I need to book some hotels for my Philippines trip next month. Like, my God, I fly in a week. I'm flying like Orlando, Mexico City, Orlando. I'm going to Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and then Manila. And I'm going back in time. I was talking to my sister about it. Like, it's going to be horrendous. I'm going to be dying. But hey, that's life. Facebook user got a question. If you buy something with cash, withdraw money from the business account, will there be any problem so long as you have a receipt? Look, generally speaking, you need to speak to your accountant. You can use a personal credit card to buy things, but what you should probably do is never use that personal credit card for any personal stuff. Like, if I give you an example, let's say, for example, in my USA business, I have a personal Amex credit card. Now, that personal Amex credit card is only used for business purposes. So it's technically a personal card, but I don't use it for any personal expenses. It's only used for business. So what we do is we just tie it into the business and say, voila, it's like a credit card. Fine. Now, you can do personal stuff like petty cash. It's absolutely fine. It just creates a bit more of a nightmare, as long as you've got the receipt, you're fine. Again, HMRC are always going to be asking, or IRS are always going to be asking, can you prove what you paid? That's it. Now, to give you an idea, like Tom, just for example, I've got a company card now called Fast Track FBA Limited. I can still go out and buy something under Tom's name, and bill it back to Fast Track FBA and they'll refund me the money, that's fine. Like that receipt will be fine as long as there's an account audit trail again. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. Speak to your accountant. That's what I really recommend. And I have to do that to protect myself. I'm not financially qualified. That's how I understand it, and that's how we kind of do it myself. Hope that makes sense. Hinson, how did you get over the fear of spending large funds? Really great question. I think one of the biggest, I still remember the day when I was like, oh my God, I'm going to spend £1,000 today. Now it's like, you spent less than £1,000 today? What's going on? What's wrong? I still remember it. The question you've got to ask yourself is, it's a limiting belief. And the moment and what you need to realize is like, do other people do it? And then you're like, yes. So, and then do they do it successfully? Yes. And then the next question is if I want to grow my business where I need to be, will I need to overcome this limiting belief, this like £1,000 a day, for example? And if the answer is yes, then you're like, okay, well, how do I do it? And like someday we just do it. So like when my team come back about, hi Tom, we spent like £20,000 today. I'm like, ooh, that's quite a nice amount. When they turn around and say 85,000 this week, I'm like, that's quite a lot of cash. And when you look at your credit card bill and it's $250,000, you're like, oh, I hope there's some good purchases in there. That's a lot of cash. But what you just realize it's kind of like numbers at the end of the day, and you try and detach yourself emotionally from it. So again, you're just trying to push your comfort zone. You push your comfort zone, safe, you go through that emotional barrier, but you'll get there. You'll get there. So like, I know people who show Amex bills over $1 million. I'm like, oh my God, you just kind of get used to it. Like $250,000 now, I was like, but you just kind of get used to it. So I hope that makes sense. Good question. Just it's about the limiting belief, breaking that limiting belief. Other people can do it. It is possible. It does work. And then ask yourself the question, if it were to go wrong, how would it go wrong? And then you minimize for the failure, and then you just execute. You just do it. So like, well, if it was going to go wrong, I've minimized all the problems. Fine. And then just kind of walk it through. So yeah, really simple. Great question. AJ, have you ever come across where you spend so much money on your credit card but don't get enough back from Amazon with the time frame to pay back the credit card? No, we have a cash flow sheet. fasttrackfba.com. Go to my blogs, get my cash flow sheet. It costs £30. By the way, the cash flow sheet. Nice hair, Tom. The cash flow sheet, literally, it kind of does this. It's really simple. Number one, step one, collect all the cash you have, like all the bank balances, the credit card balances. Number two, then write down all the outgoings you have. Very simple. The sheet does this for you, by the way. Then number three, do some calculations, and it kind of shows you that, and then it will kind of tell you like it will ask you to change one number. That's it, one number. And basically, if you change the number too big, something will go red, and it says you spent too much money. But if you bring it down so it can't go red, and then you're like, cool. And then that one number there tells you how much money you can spend this week, so that you stop this exact problem. And by the way, we built this as part of the £1 million journey. And the whole concept, by the way, it's £30. I charge £30 for it because it's a really good sheet. I develop it a lot. And by the way, if you get it, whenever we do updates, I'll send you the updates as well. But the idea is the fact that I knew this exact problem and I was scared of it. And the same thing like spending large sums, Himson talked about a minute ago. The idea is, how do I make sure I spend a large sum but still pay my bills? Well, quite simply, I needed to build a system that's going to work, a process. And we built the cash flow sheet, fasttrackfba.com. Go to resources, blogs, cash flow sheet. Download it. Costs £30. It's the biggest game-changing thing in business. Why? Because if you can spend the most amount of money you can every week, safe in the knowledge that you are going to be able to pay your bills. And by the way, do triple check everything. Then it's going to give you peace of mind. And that's what we do. That's a really important thing. So the cash flow sheet really helped me out. I think that's the most important point. So yeah. We've always been able to pay back credit cards. I won't tell a lie. One time, about a couple of weeks ago, we didn't pay back our credit card in time. Why? The cash flow sheet worked perfectly. My staff member didn't check the cash flow sheet, and it was red. It literally said, "Warning: you are going to have no money in your bank account to pay." And I was like, when the credit card thing bounced, I was like, did no one check the cash flow sheet? It told you we're going to run out of money. And that was the thing that happened. So get the cash flow sheet. It solves that problem. But really good point. Very common. So we fixed it. How you find representatives to send products from Walmart, or where you buy the products? Check out American Warehouse in the US. We've used them before. We still use them to this day. Not the best, but they are good enough, and they do big volumes. They're not like some little mom and pop. They're a proper warehouse operation. So check them out, and they're in a tax-free state. I hope that helps. American Warehouse in New Hampshire. John Sinclair, appreciate your detailed answers, Tom. I've been on your website and I'm tempted to get a VA, just not sure when. I tell you what, John, great question. Do this. If you're not sure when, I'll do it very quickly. You've got to be profitable. Ideally, you want about £5,000, $5,000 in available spend on credit cards or cash in the bank at the end of the week. A couple of weeks you're going through like, man, like if I only have more deals, I could spend that $5,000 on my credit card thing, but I just don't have enough deals or time to find the deals to do it now. And then the final one is you have 1 hour a week spare that you can support your VA because they're going to be a team member in your business. If you can meet that, you're probably going to be in a good place and you're ready to hire. Number two, if you're still not sure and you've got more questions, go to the fasttrackfba.com website /VA, and you can literally scroll right down to the bottom. You can book a call with my team, one-to-one call. They'll answer any questions you have. That's it. Get it booked, like trust me. And then we've got the whole like 3-month, no questions asked refund policy. Hope that makes sense. Right, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, I do need to go fast. Time is wasting a lot. 2 minutes. I've got a lot of questions. What accountants do you use for tax returns? E-commerce accountants in the UK. Check them out. Fasttrackfba.com/tools. You can see who we use. Odds Octopus. Cheers. Accountant needs to put. Accountant needed soon to put mind at ease. Ecom accountants we use. They have a free consultation call. You can use them as well. So I hope that helps. Nomi, hey Nomi. Best way to source in Q1. Trying to get engaged in Nike. However, unsure what wholesalers to use. Any tips? Oh my God. Frontier Co-op, Coles. People use them. I think you can just use Nike website. Some people have talked about as well. If anyone knows Nike, drop it down below. I don't know off the top of my head. I do have them somewhere. I don't have it to mind. The best way to source in Q1, just buy products which are going to sell all year round. Try not to go seasonal. January, by the way, you can see here this is it, that peak on the UK. That's December. After that is January, then February and March. They're okay. Like, it's really not too bad. Don't worry about it. I mean, buy stock for my business, but with cash. Sometimes I buy Jamie, it doesn't work. Yeah, you can do it. You can buy with cash and then just, by the way, refund that. Best way to do it is buy stock for your business with cash, and it's in your name, and then the business buys it off you, if that kind of makes sense. That's the easiest way to think about it. Speak to an accountant. I'm not an accountant, but that's the way I do it. What you want to do is just make the flow of money in the transaction be very clear. So I buy stock using my own personal money, and then the business refunds me. Fine. That's a really simple way to do it. That's a very easy audit trail, and if anyone audits you, it's nice and simple, very clear. Let's kind of jump through. How can I send dangerous goods into Amazon? Look at the dangerous goods program. You can even speak to someone in Amazon, I think about it now. You can message seller support. You do have to apply to the dangerous goods program. And then if you're in the UK, I think you have to do like ground shipping because you can't fly it, and same in the US. You'll need to do a specialist carrier. I don't think UPS is an option. Speak to a prep center. They'll probably help you as well. But you have to do the dangerous goods program. With having an OA focus, how do you deal with the undercutters? Obviously, we'll deal with this kind of area, but it's a good question. You get the same issue as wholesale. Generally speaking, if I'm going to hold my prices, I want to be making more than about a 5% ROI. That's about it. But there were two options: get out now or hold your price. That's it. That's all we're going to do. It's just the nature of the game. It does happen. So yeah, we do get them. Let's kind of jump through. A lot of new sellers who aren't VAT registered pinch. Yeah, it does happen. No, it's a shame. It does happen, but it's life. They're playing on easy mode. Okay, true. I want to join Fast Track FBA, but I'm doing wholesale method. It's something that you can do with only arbitrage. So, by the way, we have a lot of people who do wholesale and they get VAs from us, and then they teach them just how to refine the wholesale side. Why? Because whether you have a wholesale or an OA deal, when you get to the deal itself, the analysis is exactly the same. It's just a little bit you do before. So fundamentally, the one bit of OA which you probably won't need as a wholesale seller is the ability to source, like Walmart, for example. But a VA will do that. The one thing that a lot of people who do wholesale like about us is we hire very good people. That's a good thing. It doesn't matter how good your training is. We do really good training, by the way. But if you hire a bad person, they're a bad person. It's not going to work. You got a 3-month guarantee, and we'll teach them the deal analysis side. But then you just have to teach them wholesale. We will hire them for you, but what we do say very clearly is we don't teach wholesale. We still teach deal analysis. So a lot of people do hire the OA VAs from us, and then they'll do their own training in the wholesale side. fasttrackfba.com/OA. Davino on Instagram says, what's your thoughts on hazmat products? Should I be selling them or not? You can, but again, it's complexity, and I don't like complexity. We do 3 million a year and just doing simplicity. So I think the real question comes is, if you've got time and space and capacity to do hazmat, absolutely fine. But if you're going to do it all in. Don't do like, oh, I dabble in it. No, like you want to be like, I'm going to build my hazmat operation to a minimum 10,000 a month, ideally 50,000 a month. If you can do that, fine. If you're just going to do a couple of thousand, it's not worth it. Don't do it. 10,000 a month a year, 10,000 a month on hazmat, fine. If you're not going to do it, don't bother. My accountant does self-assessment fee before the tax year and it won't go over my income, won't anymore. Yeah, after this. Yeah, Sean, I get your point. I still go up to the 40K pretty much. It's like 37,500. Yeah, I pay a bit more tax, but I can I want to keep taking that money out of my business and then loading it straight back in again so that I don't have the tax liability when I take it out eventually. So yeah, I'm not doing that's what I'm doing. I get your point. Josh, I got engaged by using the Night website. Woohoo! Thanks, Josh. Top tip, love that one. Massive action. Company owes me 30K or more. I'm just going to do something. 1 second. It's gonna. Can I do this? Yeah, there we go. I'm just going to take a screenshot of that one. Absolutely love it. Save. Cool. Massive action. Company owes me 30K or more from stock plus ain't claimed back diesel back yet. So trying to find. Yeah, like my company owes me like $250,000, I think it is, or something stupid. There's about 200,000. But the idea is you're taking the money out and then paying it back. Yes, you pay 20% taxes on it, but that's money that you can take at any point. So if I want to go buy a house, fine, there's no tax on it because I've already paid the tax. What would you class as seasonal? Jellycat, Lego items? No, they're not seasonal. Seasonal would be like Valentine's Day, Halloween, Christmas, Advent calendars. That would be seasonal. Government lets you rent out bedrooms up to 750,000 a year. Trying to work smart. Yeah, agreed. Do it. Sure. Just got to tidy up the house. Facebook, Instagram. I'll do the last question here on Instagram. What's your total combined sales since you started? Didn't realize it's 3 million in the last 12 months. That's amazing. Congrats. I don't know since started. I can't do that. That's like 3.4 million, and that's 1.2 million. So put it in combined US dollar terms, about 5 million. I'd probably say. Over 5 million, probably say. It's like maybe UK pounds, 4.5 million. And obviously add Fast Track FBA on top of that. Be all right. Got 2 7-figure companies. Pretty happy with that. So again, it's time. Time is your biggest problem. If you've got money but no time, you won't build a business. It takes time to develop a business. Ladies and gentlemen, that is me done for the day. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone on Instagram. I also want to say a big thank you to everyone on TikTok, Twitter, whatever, what's going on. And I think the idea is about that. I just want to say thank you to all of you. I will be back same time tomorrow. I'll be answering your questions, so do join me. And this week I'll be this time, but next week I'm going to be changed because I'm going to be in Manila or Dubai, then Manila. For example, I'm flying, so it's going to be really, really hard. So if you want your questions answered, if you think about Amazon, see me same time tomorrow. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe. Bye-bye.